Hi everyone, welcome back to MindVerse. So happy to have you here. Your host Teuta, hosting the last episode of the first season. We have come a long way. Let's take a moment and celebrate. We started slowly with the concept of being organized and covered lots of topics along the way. If you have missed anything in between, feel free to check it out. More than happy to hear your thoughts. Before I start with the next episode, I wanted to thank all of you who joined me in this journey. And not only joined, but also continued with me until the end. To everyone who gave me their pure feedback, which helped me to become way better than I was when I started. To everyone who helped me along the way and listened to me and appreciated my thoughts. I'm very happy to see the impact and all those great things that you're sharing with me. This isn't a goodbye message, not even close. This is the message for you out there who have been the reason why I began and had the courage to keep going. There will be more to come, and I'm happy to connect with you again soon. Now, for the last episode, I chose to talk about a very important topic for me, and I'm sure for everyone else. I will be covering what mental health is and how it connects closely with being organized. I think it is a pretty important topic to conclude the season, don't you agree? Perfect. So as always, let's get comfy and grab your favorite beverage and let's hit this milestone together. Mental health. A great ally, but also a difficult companion. Why, you might say? Mental health is who we are and how we cope with things. It is our emotional state, but also our psychological being. To this equation, add the social being as well. See? It gets complicated in each step. But it shouldn't be complicated. And I'm so glad it is something that we finally started talking about. Mental health was discovered as a topic a long time ago. It's very interesting to me as I also just found out that it was spoken in the mid-19th century by William Swister, who initially called it mental hygiene. Slowly like that, it started taking shape. But I realized its actual importance was mentioned not earlier than 2020. 2020. I know. Not the best year. Not even close to that. I'm still processing it, trust me. I can't believe we're in 2024 and it was 4 years ago. How can it be like it was a lifetime ago but also feel like it was very recent? It's mind-blowing to me. I can't believe that we had a pandemic that big. I mean, we hear these in the history books, the big plague and all these other scary stories, but it actually happened in this lifetime. It is a very sad year for all who have lost their loved ones and the ones who had to go through that or see their loved ones suffer. I'm so glad we left that behind. One thing that this year unraveled was the talk about mental health. When we were all set to work from home, it became a huge challenge. The adaptation period was probably very painful. A lot of sayings like depressing monotony, on the verge of panic attack, and added pressure became a part of our vocabulary. It isn't an easy time. It never has been. We are surviving every day, trying to overcome stress and anxiety, and these are affecting our mental health. When we are having difficulties with our mental health, it affects lots of aspects. It affects how we think, how we feel, and how we act. And not only that, it affects how we handle stress, how we relate to others, and the choices that we make. I don't know if you heard about the fact from the National Institute of Mental Health. They have discovered that more than 1 in 5 adults in the States are dealing with mental illness. That's around 52 million. This is a huge number to tackle. It is a very urgent matter. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to make sure we are on top of our mental health. I come from a very small town in a relatively small country. It isn't, as they call it, a touchy-feely type of place. Growing up, most of the conversations weren't about this topic or any other topic related to it. And I don't like pointing fingers or saying that it was very bad. It's something that needs to be worked on. We have to teach each other and learn from each other. We need to keep speaking up, talking about our feelings. Keeping them bottled up only does us harm and nothing else. I started talking about my feelings probably after college. That's pretty late, don't you think? Realizing that you have all these things in your mind but never actually dig deeper, it creates issues for you. We need to make sure to open up. I recently am seeing people going to therapy, talking to people who are experts in understanding your feelings and what those feelings are doing. It is a very brave step forward. Understanding who we are and how we feel is a very long and interesting journey. It's not even close to being easy, but it is a huge game changer. Mental health is like an iceberg, not the Titanic one. The iceberg has a very interesting setup. The surface looks small, and you are like, huh, is this it? And then the closer you get, and the more you look at it, the bigger it is. That's how our mental health is. It might look like a simple surface, but the closer we take a look, the more we get to know it. And don't get me wrong, we only have scratched the surface on understanding what mental health is. But I'm glad we're going there and taking those steps. We have a long but fruitful journey ahead. We saw the statistics from the National Institute of Mental Health, and that is only for the United States. And I'm sure that there are similar statistics across the globe. These are some that I found. The World Health Organization has estimated globally that 1 out of 4 people will be impacted by mental illness at some point in their lives. They also found that 350 million people worldwide suffer from depression. These are the cases that we know. Think about the ones that we don't know. That's why if you're struggling in any way, or if you have someone you know who is going through tough times, please ask for help. Each and every country has their dedicated number. I will attach it to the link to the phone numbers that are specific to mental health and for help and guidance. Now, let's see how that connects with being organized. I spoke about this in the first episode when I covered the benefits that being organized offers to us. One of them, as you might recall, was about it helping our mental health. A disorganized environment, unfinished work, and piles of to-dos can cause lots of issues on your mental health. That's where being organized gets involved. Using this skill will help you become more calm and handle everything in a more peaceful manner. There was an interesting study that I recently found on this particular topic. People who had messy homes had higher stress hormone levels in their bodies throughout the day compared to the ones who had organized and relaxing homes. This is a great starting point for us to understand that we have to take action in order to help your mental health. Being organized will help you not only tackle the things you know and expect, but also things that will come along the way. Being organized doesn't only mean tidying your space, but also tidying up your thoughts. Don't forget to take some time for yourself. Create that time. Use your organizational skills that you have gained so far to build a schedule for your mental health. You can use that time to practice meditation, to go to therapy, or just sit down and reflect. Don't take this step lightly. Organize yourself so you can dedicate this time to yourself. The more you practice it, the more natural it will be for you. Nothing in life matters if you don't prioritize yourself. That's why lots of guidelines in the airplanes or any other disaster predicting practices always says first make sure you're well so you can help others. I prefer to have everything in place in order to feel relaxed. This means I not only create a schedule for my surroundings, but also for myself. My main priority is to build an environment that is clean, things that are in their places, and I know what I will do next. If something surprising comes along the way, I'm ready to handle anything. This doesn't mean sometimes I don't freak out. Also, it doesn't mean I live my life as a rigid robot. It only means I'm building a safe space with being organized, and it is helping me manage stress better. Now I am more vocal about how I feel. I learned that the more you speak up, the easier it gets. I suggest that you take some time and build upon your organizational skills. Identify the issues or obstacles that are straining your mental health. Start tackling each and every one of them with your organizational skills. For example, if you have issues at work with clutter, go back to the source of the problem and organize it. If it is your personal space, take some steps to create organized habits. If it is time that you're lacking, start organizing your time effectively. Things don't just happen. We work on improving them. Each thing can be organized if we decide to do so. This shouldn't scare you or create an image where you're going to become a mundane creature. Being organized is an evolving skill, and it helps you evolve too. You learn how much you gain in each step that you practice. You learn that things are doable, and nothing will be impossible to fix. Being organized is your biggest help to keep things under your control. This way, you have the upper hand. Start organizing your home or your work. When you do so, you allow a free space in your mind, and that is such a big deal. This way, you are able to relax, to do something productive for yourself, and most importantly, to avoid straining your mental health. We already covered so many steps on how you can be organized, and that is a huge help in the journey which will be extremely fruitful for you. I know you can do it, and you know you can do it too. I will mention this one more time, as it is highly important and serious. If you are struggling in any way, or if you have someone you know who is going through tough times, please ask for help. And that wraps up the final episode of the season. Wow, what an incredible journey it has been exploring the benefit of becoming organized. I want to again express my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you. Thank you for starting and continuing this journey with me. Very happy about it. I'm very curious to know what you thought about the episode and also about the whole season. Feel free to share your thoughts with me. I wanted to give a special shout out to my dedicated listeners again. Your continued support and feedback have been invaluable. I'll be taking some time off to recharge, rejuvenate, and prepare for an even more extraordinary season ahead. I'll be back before you know it. Stay with MindVerse. In the meantime, don't forget to stay connected with me on social media. Feel free to submit your questions, suggestions, or just drop a friendly hello. I already have some ideas for the next season, but I'm very happy to hear your thoughts and suggestions and things you want me to cover. Thank you once again for being a part of the MindVerse community. Until we meet again in the next season, this is Teuta, signing off.